Hey everybody, welcome back to Up, Up, and Away, a comic book movie review and news podcast. My name is Joe Gilpin, joined as always by my brother.
Matt.
How are you today, Matt?
Good.
Wonderful. This is a podcast where we get together and we talk about everything we can about superhero comic book culture, news, reviews, everything like that. On Friday, we watch movies and review them in excruciating amounts of detail. Just did the movie Constantine, you can check that out. We are coming up on doing the Judge Dredd movies. The 1995 movie Judge Dredd, followed by the 2012 Dredd. You excited for those?
We're seeing Stallone for the first time, not the last time.
Stanny Stones, I call him. Really excited.
Why Stanny?
Sylvester, I don't know.
Stan is short for Sylvester.
Stanny Stones. If I say Stanny Stones, you know immediately which actor I'm talking about.
Stan Stone.
Yeah. Stanny Stones, lead of the movie Rocky, and he was also in G of the Joe TG 2. Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
You alright, Joe?
I'm having a mini episode. I smell color. But for today, we are doing a
Newsday.
A Tuesday Newsday episode. Tuesday Newsday.
Should be Newsday Tuesday.
Newsday.
I gave up on that fight a year ago. Doesn't mean I still don't believe it.
Regardless, we are here to talk about everything we can. We're going to start with the headlines.
We always seem to start with a downer.
There are a lot of problems in America right now. I think in order, we can go number 1, Houston, the hurricane. Number 2, wildfires in California. Number 3, Marvel's Inhumans is the third.
Ahead of the DCEU.
I know. Marvel's really catching this L this week. They were down with... a lot of their TV stuff has not been strong lately. Their TV division is really, really struggling.
Especially behind the movies.
I would say the Netflix stuff is in a weaker place than it should be, coming off of The Defenders. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of settled into a little bit of a lull, even though creatively it's really good. Mm-hmm. I think the show is doing really good work. Now they've rolled out the Inhumans, which might be the worst thing they've ever done, according to many people. Before we begin on this, we will say we have not seen the IMAX version of this yet.
I don't even think it was happening near us.
No, we would have had to have gone real far to watch this. Yeah. I legitimately think we would have had to go to, like, Philadelphia. Oh, I'm not doing that.
Especially for that shit. Like, I probably wouldn't go to Philadelphia to watch Spider-Man Homecoming, and I like that movie. That's too far.
The reviews are terrible. In the box office from the IMAX, remember it's only like a couple hundred screens, they brought in $2.5 million in the opening salvo.
That ain't bad.
It's actually pretty average. For context, the Season 4 Game of Thrones finale was also aired in IMAX at the same time that they released the episode, and it brought in about $2 million over the same period of time. But you could also just watch it at home for free.
That's true.
Well, for HBO free.
Yeah.
So not really the same. IGN gave this a 4 out of 10. Fandom gave it a 1 out of 5.
Yeesh.
There's a lot of reviews that are just outright saying, do not go watch
I've never heard anybody say a good thing about it.
No, me either. And the one thing that is really catching hell is the acting. Apparently the acting is real shitty. You mentioned last week, you can just hear Ewan Rayon's accent breaking through all the time by accident.
Yeah, which is a directing problem. The director needs to say cut.
There's so many problems with this. The more and more I hear about it, the more I can't believe this got made.
Well, and with Ewan Rayon, you brought it up, it was like, just make him Scottish.
Just make him Scottish. You're on the moon. It's okay to have a Scottish guy when you're on the fucking moon. And by the way, we've been to the fucking moon. We know what's up there. We don't need to do this.
That's what makes, like, Atlantis cool, because, like, we haven't looked in the bottom of the ocean. We don't know what's there.
Somebody should really think to do that eventually.
Well, we can't.
James Cameron's trying to.
He's trying. Fuck him.
He can stay down there.
I go marry a fucking fish. Also, like, Inhumans are just, like, walking around.
Yeah, we have Inhumans on Earth. That's the biggest problem of this whole thing to me that's never been explained. There are Inhumans on Earth. It's like just if there was, like, a colony of, like, Laotian people up on the moon, like, we can't go back there. Like, no, you'll be happily surprised.
You can go to Laos.
There are many Laotian people throughout throughout America, throughout your native country of Laos. You can just show up. We've had Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a long time. Like several seasons.
Yeah.
One of them is, like, the lead of the show.
Yeah.
So I don't...
Real mad.
And by the way, there's, like, Iron Man and, like, Chitauri stuff walking around. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff on Earth. Just come back.
Yeah, everything's fine. God.
It's like somebody is like, oh, I'm so hardcore. I have this streak of color in my hair. You know what I mean? Like, I could never be a part of society. I'm too much of a rebel while drinking, like, a frappe from Starbucks. It's just so illogical, the entire thing. The acting's getting bad reviews. A lot of the plot details are getting bad reviews. And like we said from the beginning, it looks really bad.
Yeah.
It looks poorly done.
It doesn't look like it's shot well, like you said. The acting's apparently not great. And I heard Lockjaw was cute, but he can't save it.
No, especially when he can't even talk.
Yeah, true. He's just a big dumb puppy dog. The one person I follow on Twitter...
They should try to make him more and more like that dog from The Simpsons whose name escapes me.
Santa's Little Helper?
No, the one with the glasses that was radical.
Oh, Poochie.
They should make him just Poochie as the show goes on.
Where's Lockjaw?
Where's Lockjaw? And he starts like talking. Like, hey, everybody, we should go to the fireworks factory.
Lockjaw had to go back to the moon.
Yeah. He died on the way back to his home planet, the moon.
It's not that far. How'd he die?
He teleports.
Yeah, for real. The one person I follow on Twitter who actually saw this in IMAX, they run they work for like the Nerdist or something like that. And his reaction to when he got out of it was, let's get the fuck out of here.
I bet it was.
And he loves everything. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys.
We're both like that, where we are both super into
positive, yeah.
most comic book stuff. Like, we had positive reviews about Iron Fist.
Yeah, I like Batman v Superman.
I like Batman vs.
That's
Superman
a
a lot.
hot take, apparently.
Yeah.
To me, like, when I walked out of that movie, I was like, that was great. And then I read
And then we saw it again in the extended edition.
And I was like, that was even better.
Yeah.
Then you read reviews, and it's like, ooh, I better shut up. I want to get jumped. So, yeah, but... I mean, I'll watch it once it comes out a little bit, but if the first episode's as bad as people are saying, I probably won't watch the whole season.
We're going to wait for a full spoilery type of review.
It's like Fan 4's sake. I didn't see that in the theater.
Once it is actually released on TV, once it comes out on ABC. But this swing at making a Game of Thrones style show...
Oh, that was a swing and a miss.
It is completely missed.
Yeah, I'll fuck that up.
Bummer. So, Inhumans right now is getting universally panned. 4 out of 10 is honestly like the nicest I've seen anyone be.
Yeah, what is that, 40%?
Yeah, that's nicer than anything else I've seen.
Really is. I've seen people just saying like, yeah, just don't.
Just don't watch it. It's the first time I've seen a reviewer like who's supposed to talk about this is good, this is bad, just be like, hey, for sure don't go out of your way to see this.
Jesus. Why not just cancel this shit, dude?
That's what I'm saying. Take the next, because you know they have like a 4 or 5 year plan for it.
Sure. There's going to be a
Take
movie.
all of that money.
This was going to be the movie, by the way. Remember when there was like an Inhumans movie coming in 2020? This was the idea.
And it's so bad. And from what I have heard, the Inhuman royal family are dicks. Like
They're not likable.
You do not sympathize with them at all, because it's a story about class. It's kind of like Downton Abbey, but on the moon with superheroes, which sounds amazing. I know.
Yeah.
That should be the tagline. But you end up rooting against the privileged people almost immediately, but those are the heroes.
Right.
So it just completely is a tone-deaf message about where a lot of people are vis-a-vis uprisings right now.
Yeah, true.
So I just think this is just from the seed poisoned.
That sucks. I'm not looking forward to having to watch this. That is not.
But I will.
That's not a hey, you should check out. So
We will have one of those later.
we will. Moving on, Warner Brothers, who of course owns the DC films and all the rights to those movies. Variety.
Warner Bros. I just call them now because that's all these movies are. It's just bro fantasies at this point.
Yeah. Variety came out with a report and seemingly our first idea of a plan from Warner Brothers, something we've criticized them about.
Is this a plan, or is this a plan like when you're coked up at 4 a.m. you're like, we're going to see every David Bowie movie back to back, and then we're going to find more blow? Like, is it one of those plans?
It is the coked up plan.
Warner Bros.
It is that plan. This is not like a Marvel MCU. Like, we're going to have like a special thing and tell everybody where our plan is. This ain't that. This is apparently the studio, besides the DCEU, they want to, the banner, as they're calling it, is intended to give the studio the chance to expand the canon with unusual story angles. So standalone films.
Yes.
Is what
this means standalone Elseworld type films. You're talking about films probably like A Killing Joke. You're talking about films like Red Sun. You're talking about
some of these movies that might
Darkest
be coming
Night.
out.
Yeah, I mean, just take your pick of any of these weird little one-offs that
Gotham by Gaslight, which is getting an animated movie. They go on to confirm that the banner will be completely separate from the world of movies like Justice League and Aquaman, and that this is part of the studio's plan to focus on, I think this is supposed to be amateur-driven.
No, auteur.
Auteur is a word?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Auteur-driven. What does that mean, Joe?
Basically creator-driven.
Creator-driven films, rather than being laden in continuity, such as those released by Marvel. So this is this is what they're doing to be different.
I'll be honest, there's some good stuff here.
There could be.
This could be really fun. Okay, they're not going to be able to compete with Marvel in terms of creating one rich textual world where everybody lives and everything has consequences. But if we can't do that, let's get coked up like crazy and make the weirdest films we can possibly make and see how that goes. If they really are committed to making creative-based films where they give the directors and the producers the power, that sounds great.
Sure, and they've always kind of prided themselves. They've been like, we're the director-driven.
But then all their directors come out and are like, that's not really that true.
Yeah, honestly, because Marvel's been knocked for being formulaic.
Yes.
And I think that's what Warner Brothers is trying to be. We're not formulaic. The problem with this, though, is that Warner Brothers, and I guess therefore people, are almost claiming that the MCU is perfect. Like, Marvel's just nailed it.
No, I think there's a lot of people that are really upset with some MCU stuff. The formulaity, the villain problems they have. I think a lot of people are getting sick and goddamn tired of the same jokes every time.
Well, also, the TV stuff isn't as strong, and that's a shared universe, as we just talked about with Inhumans. Warner Brothers, you have, honestly, more characters, because Marvel can't use all their people.
True.
Warner Brothers, you got everything. You can do something better with your shared universe. Go to HBO. You own them, I think. That's a Time Warner thing. Put some shit on there. Put a Batman show on there. Go make a
if you're looking for something to replace Game of Thrones in a couple years, grab up any of these guys, put the same
Green Lantern.
Put the same budget behind it and see what happens. I think it's going to do really well.
Yeah, and that's interweaving TV and movie could be your way, and doing it well, that's a tall task, I know. But if you did it well, my God, people would be flocking to you. You know what I mean? So I understand.
On the other hand, cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine, David Bowie. This could work. It's annoying as hell because we're gonna get some weird shit. For every one good one, there'll be 3 bad ones.
Do you think they're gonna have a really low batting average?
Yes. Just because I think a lot of Elseworld stories honestly kind of suck.
I don't know how you can get an auteur-driven film that's $100 million movie. Because the more that let me put it to you this way. Adult Swim's basic idea right now is, we're not going to give you that much money to make your TV show. But we will have no say in what you deliver us. Yeah. We'll tell you basically where your limits are.
Like Netflix, too.
Netflix does this, too. It's micro-budgeting.
Yeah.
And when these budgets get out of control, suddenly, if I'm spending $100 million on this movie, I want input on what this movie is going to look like. And so it doesn't become auteur-driven when the budget is that big, but the budgets kind of need to be that big to deliver Superman Red Sun, or something like that. Some movies we're going to talk about coming up.
And what I was getting at was, not a lot of standalones or one-offs or Elseworld stories are that good. You know what I mean? There are some good ones, but a lot of them also have some shitty stuff in them.
I just think maybe they talk to like Grant Morrison or something, one of these guys who's like, fuck continuity, just do what you want. You know what I mean? And they're like, wow, that's a really good idea. And we won't have to think at all.
Literally.
We won't have to like pay attention what happens movie to movie. Yeah. And I guess there's something to be said for that. But you are kind of throwing in a little bit of a towel here.
Yeah.
Because it's nice that they have a plan. It is a departure, obviously, from what they started with.
I truly believe that Warner Brothers, give us a call. We have a plan.
We do have a plan.
We do have. It is thought out. It's about
this podcast kind of started as like just me and you just turning to each other like, what if we got to run the DCEU?
Yeah.
And we went from there and started a podcast about it.
And now
we'll release those plans eventually.
We have 25, 30 years worth of shit that's just like all stellar.
We can make it happen.
Come on, give it to us. Let us do it. So speaking of just some random DC shit that's coming out. They got that streaming service coming.
I'm a little excited to see what this streaming service looks like, but I'm not excited to pay for it.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
I'm tired of getting nickel and dime by streaming services at this point.
It's almost like you're paying for cable, but you're paying for every channel.
Every channel, yeah. Which I get that this is the next logical conclusion from, okay, you don't want these big packages, but you are gonna have to pay for everything individually. That makes financial sense from the producer, from the supplier side, but from the demand side, I'm really going to have to start to pick and choose. Yeah, because right now I'm on 25,000 different streaming services and I can't fucking keep up.
Can't you guys just partner with Netflix or something?
Well, no, because Marvel is there, but like partner with Hulu or something.
Yeah,
There's got to be
somebody.
something. Get on Amazon Prime.
Crunch or whatever these weird ones is.
Yeah, Crunchyroll.
Something, I don't fucking Crackle. I don't know. There's a Crackle button on my remote that I've never pressed.
Isn't there? There's always like one weird button on there where it's like, don't you want to be a part of Sparkplug?
It's like, no, knock that shit off.
If you press this button, we'll kill one of your enemies, but something bad will happen to you eventually. Ooh, don't want that on my tape over that. Put something on that.
Don't just take batteries out of it.
Yeah.
I'm worried. Titans is coming to that DC streaming service. We're getting some weird new original content there. That's gonna be weird.
But it'll also have old favorites. This is why things like Justice League Unlimited,
Young Justice,
Young Justice just got off of Netflix because they're gonna move it onto this streaming service.
Yeah, so it's like, well, of course I'm gonna buy it. You dicks, you know what I like. So we got Dick Grayson.
Yes, we have our Nightwing.
We have or is he Nightwing?
We have Dick Grayson.
We have Dick Grayson. Brenton.
You have to assume Nightwing.
Yeah, they've never said Nightwing though. Brenton Thwaites is his name.
I am not looking forward to saying that name.
Thwaites. He's Australian.
I meant Brenton.
Oh, Brenton. Call him Brent. Brent on. Brenton Thwaites. He's an actor he's Australian. I've known about this guy for years just because he's been in a lot of stuff that I've heard of. He was in Maleficent. He was in
Big Maleficent fan, Matt.
I've heard of it. I've heard of the cast. He was in.
That's a yes.
He was in the. I've actually never seen Maleficent.
Then why do you know so much about it? Why do you have a cast list?
Because I know who's in movies. And I've heard this dude's name. He has a very unusual name.
It's 2% weird.
All right, fuck off. I'm not. You know what? I don't have to defend myself. He was in The Giver, which had a bunch of young up and coming actors. So there was
and Taylor Swift.
She was in that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. That had a bunch of young actors who were like, these are gonna be like the next superstars, and like they're all just still around. He was one of those. He was also in Gods of Egypt.
We call that party of fiving.
He was in Gods of Egypt, that movie that fucking tanked a couple years ago.
Big ass dick.
That movie had like Chadwick Boseman.
It had a huge cast and
Young,
so many effects.
Gerard Butler.
They went all out on that, but they forgot to get a script at some point. That's really important when you're going to do movies, to like actually have a script in front of you.
Nikolai Coster-Waldau was in that thing. That thing was weird. It's about Egypt and gods, and they're among them.
There was a weird stretch of those kind of movies.
Yeah.
You know when like just like 6 of the same movie will all come out?
There's
at
a
the
Christian
exact
Bale
same
one
time?
too.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley.
There was a bunch of them and it was just like, what if and there was Apocalypse.
Yeah.
What if Egypt was secretly way more intense and scientific than anyone ever thought, and then we forgot all of it, and now we're here less scientific?
Low key, that may be my idea for the Shazam Black Adam movie. So don't.
DC calls.
Yeah, DC call us. So hey, I have an idea. So he was also in the new Pirates movie, Pirates 5. Which I wanted to see, but it has Johnny Depp.
Yeah, not gonna see it. Sorry, Johnny.
Because the first trailer was like, oh my god, Javier Bardem was like, he's gonna fucking crush it. And then that trailer on purpose did not feature Johnny Depp.
Yeah, nothing. They never once showed Johnny Depp in any promotional materials.
Well, until like the final trailer.
Because he's in like a fucking... He's beating the shit out of his wife and being like crazy abusive.
Amber Heard, who's Queen Mara, by the way.
And doing insane things and leaving like bloody mirror messages and disfiguring his body.
Yeah, I don't know if people knew that. He chopped his finger off and with his little bloody nub wrote a threatening message on a mirror.
Which, of course, it's going to be a threatening message. Like, I feel
like that could be like going out for milk.
Yeah, be back soon, love you lots, need ice.
Didn't have a pen.
Come on, Sideshow Bob, use a pen.
Jeez. So yeah, Brenton Thwaites, he's 28 years old, which is in line with Starfire. Ms. Jop, I forget her first name. She is playing Starfire. She is 29 years old. So...
Do you think those two are going to have good bone chemistry?
They need to have good chemistry. I hope they at least screen together.
Yes.
Because that could be a problem if they do not. Because those two in the comics and in the shows normally have a thing.
Yes.
And... It's also a little weird that the girl who, another Australian actress, the one who's playing Raven, Tegan Croft, she's 13 years old. So
that is weird.
There's an age difference here.
But that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, maybe that's why it's called Titans.
Yeah.
And not Teen Titans. So that's cool. He looks the part, which has made the internet kind of racist a little bit.
So he has a big ass?
That's another thing. Does he have a big ass? Because in the comics, Dick noticeably has a gigantic butt.
He really does. He's
That's
got
not
an
me.
enormous
No, yeah.
Nicki Minaj rear end. He is an Instagram thought.
Yeah, real dick.
It's unbelievable.
He is thick with 2 C's. It's made, but his casting made
It's giving me unrealistic body expectations.
Yeah, I
to be
feel
honest.
self-conscious. Him being cast, he looks like he's ripped out of the comic. This guy looks like Dick Grayson with long hair. Makes me think he'll have long hair in it. But the internet's been like, I haven't seen anything this guy's done, but this is a good casting. And you're just saying that because it's just a white dude with long hair. So
He generally looks like Dick Grayson. There's no reason to think he won't do a great job.
no, I'm rooting for him. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch some of the movies he's been in.
I'm not.
I'm not watching this dog shit. I feel bad for him because a lot of these are big movies that just tanked.
Bummer.
You know what I mean? So maybe he'll finally got his starring thing though. So that's cool.
Kind of hope Taylor Kitsch writes his ship because he's another guy.
he's
Like
great,
he's
though.
a great actor, but he cannot fucking pick a movie.
Yeah, Jesus, he's my Green Arrow.
He's great.
So if like, hey, DC.
Keep coming back to that. Moving along, X-Men's Dark Phoenix
Ooh, boy,
will
this
be
story.
a grounded, emotional story that will not go too intergalactic.
Didn't we see this movie?
I think we saw.
We reviewed this.
We
movie.
reviewed this movie, and it was low on our list. Check our big list of every movie ever.
This was called X-Men: The Last Stand.
They're looking, for some reason, to do the Dark Phoenix saga with the upcoming X-Men movie, where they don't want to get too intergalactic. They don't want to go out into space too much. I guess they feel like it will disconnect people emotionally from
Detract.
the movie. But that feels ignorant of the source material, because the Dark Phoenix story that they told in the comics, it was set up over a long, long time.
Yeah.
It was this intricate, thoughtful, emotional story
Yep.
that anyone could understand. But they did it using the tools of this big, free-form comics medium, where, yes, the X-Men are fighting the Space X-Men for the soul of this Phoenix god, but it's about love and loyalty
Friendship.
for Jean Grey.
Right.
And, defending someone from your team and somebody who's a hero, even though they may have done bad things. I don't see how you can't just do that in a much bigger, more intergalactic story. And if you do X-Men Dark Phoenix and you bring in characters like Lilandra with Jessica Chastain,
Yeah, Jessica freaking
you
Chastain.
need to do it big and spacey.
How
And
do
the
you do
X-Men
Lilandra?
and the X-Men are never afraid to go into space.
The Shi'ar guys.
The Shi'ar, the Brood, the Krull, the Space Jammers. Jesus Christ. Cyclops' father is a fucking space pirate. You can't be afraid to go into space and go intergalactic when you have the X-Men. They just once in a while go into space.
Yeah, it just happens.
It happens a lot to them. I'm sorry, it happens a lot to them.
And that's the crazy thing about these movies is not one time has space even been mentioned.
No, they're completely terrestrial. And there's a lot of fun stuff they can do intergalactic. I get so frustrated when these movies are afraid to follow the same brave things that the comics did in the past, and that had such a big result, of such a big positive return for them. It doesn't make any sense. People have taken
This
risks.
is Kinberg, by the way, who said this, the director.
People have taken risks in comics for 70, 80 years at this point,
Yeah.
And we are stuck in a place where we can see what worked, what didn't, and we're not using that. I get that you want to be able to tell a good story, but tell the good emotional story by using the tools of your medium. And there's a lot of tools in the movie medium that you can use to tell an emotional story, even if it is big and wild and doing a crazy thing.
Right. It doesn't all have to be Logan.
Yeah, exactly. Which was a very small emotional story, but you can
Yeah.
do much bigger emotional stories as well. Days of Future Past had a great emotional story.
Oh my God, I love
and
that
that was a
movie.
big crazy movie where half the movie is fighting robots in a post-apocalyptic warehouse.
Dude, I fucking love that movie. It still might be my favorite X-Men movie.
It's up there.
Does Logan count as an X-Men movie?
What if I said yes?
Then it might be Logan.
It's Logan, right?
But I love Days of Future Past. I didn't think anything could top Days of Future Past. Then it did.
And then here we are.
And here we are. Motherfucker. Like, why? This like, we were praising you guys because I'm pretty sure they came out a few months ago and like, yeah, we're gonna do Dark Phoenix. Like, we're gonna do Dark Phoenix. So we're all like, oh hell yeah. And then Jessica Chastain,
Which is still, I think, the best X-Men story they've ever done.
I agree. And then Jessica Chastain comes aboard, and it's like, holy shit, they're going for it. And then Simon Kinberg says this, and now it's like, well, great.
More like Next Man, am I right?
Yeah, and they're like, this sucks. Nice burn, man.
Thanks for adding on to my joke there.
Yeah,
Let's move on to the rumor mill.
Fucking Dark Phoenix. All right. Oh Jesus, this rumor.
Okay, so this might be actually the biggest story
Yeah,
of
but
the
we
week,
just save it
but
for-
it is in the rumor mill because it is just
The
a
rumor mill was filled with the biggest stories, I think.
So, Leonardo DiCaprio, Academy Award-winning actor.
Finally, he won one. He got his.
We finally are able to end that fucking meme.
Who I love. I love DiCaprio. Although I don't.
He's a pretty good actor.
I did not. Or I saw The Revenant, which he won the Oscar for. It was great. His best performance though is in Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street is his best movie. There is talk that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be up for the role of the Joker in this standalone Joker movie that Martin Scorsese is executive producing, and that Todd Phillips of The Hangover is directing.
This is so fucking weird, man.
Okay, so they're looking at making a Joker movie that is a gritty and grounded, hard-boiled crime film set in the early 80s Gotham City.
Alright, there's something there.
Is that going to involve Batman in any way, or are we just going to have a Joker with no Batman? Because that sounds like a Joker with no Batman.
It does.
Which means you have to completely redo the character.
Yes.
Because he doesn't make sense in a vacuum.
He's the antithesis of Batman. That's the whole
He only
point.
makes sense as a foil to Batman.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense for him just to be running around. He needs something to push back against. Unless we're going to be going with just a straight-up origin story, which we may do. Because according to another source, noted comic book legend, I say ironically, MMA fighter and podcaster Brendan Schaub said on the Joe Rogan podcast, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this,
I can't believe that's a source.
says that he knows from his friend who's helping Todd Phillips on the script that...
We all know Brendan Schaub doesn't have friends.
I listen to Brendan Schaub's podcast. I actually have a fighting podcast as well, The Fighter's Block. Feel free to listen to it. Says he'll be a young kid with a permanent smile. And it's going to go from there as an origin story. So a young kid born with a permanent smile, and he gets like teased and bullied about it, and it fucks him up, and it's going to be very real and gritty and dark. That sounds, one, crazy shitty.
Yeah.
That sounds real bad. Two, DiCaprio doesn't make sense for that movie in any way. Is he going to be a young kid, or is he going to be 45 but looks 60?
Coke bloat.
Coke bloat Leonardo DiCaprio. He can be used as a flotation device if your plane full of hookers and blow goes down.
Are they only... There's a couple reasons why like DiCaprio could be the reason. One, he's a great actor.
Yes.
So it's like we want the best actor
He
possible.
is a really good actor. I do think he has some acting flaws. I think he relies a little bit too much on like the same couple of tricks.
Fair. Number two, Scorsese.
True.
He is Scorsese's boy.
Yes. They have a very, very strong working
Wolf of Wall
relationship.
Street, which we mentioned. Three, is it because he's slowly turning into Jack Nicholson? Is that because Jack played the Joker? Is that, and I think it was around the same age too, right?
Yeah, that sounds about
Roughly.
right, yeah.
So maybe they're just doing that. Maybe they're making that movie again and just not having the Batman.
And Michael Keaton is going to be played by, like, Hannibal Buress or somebody. Some stand-up comedian. Pete Holmes is the Batman.
Jeez, man, this is
It's exciting to think about, and it is going to grab a lot of headlines. But it doesn't work, and it doesn't make any sense to have DiCaprio as the Joker for this standalone film, when if you want to talk to DiCaprio, you want to get him in a bigger role that's in the wider DCEU, or the wider MCU. We both have said, Doc Doom or bust.
Yeah, I want him as Dr. fucking Doom. Hello.
He isn't a good Joker pick. He would have to... He just... His big craziness is always ramped up ambition. It's never just off the wall crazy. Even in Wolf of Wall Street,
It's not chaotic.
It's not chaotic in any way. It's just a guy who's on drugs.
Yeah, he's on Ludes, as he calls them, Quaaludes. I was on Quaaludes. I don't even remember Oslo.
And him when he's down, he's not. He's never funny. He's never been a funny actor.
No, the
and
Joker's
I do
not
think
that funny.
I think the Joker should at least be trying to be funny. Or the Joker. The Joker is the only person who's in a comedy.
He's making himself laugh.
He's the only person who's in a comedy, right?
Right.
Everybody else is in this horrible drama. By the way, real quick, if I can, the latest Batman that's been going on, it's called like the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Right.
It's Joker versus Riddler, gangland style, and Batman's caught up in the middle. Mad shitty.
Oh, really?
Not into it whatsoever.
That's unfortunate.
Not feeling it. I think it's
Maybe they'll make an Elseworld story about it.
I'm not into it. So I think this Brendan Schaub thing is full of shit. I don't think they're going to make a movie where the Joker is a young kid who's born with some permanent rictus grin, because that's real dumb.
Yeah, that's really stupid. So I
How
think
does Jared Leto have to be feeling?
reports are he's pissed.
He should be.
He should be pissed.
He's also an Academy Award winner.
Yeah,
he can do this.
He won his Oscar before Leo, I think, or was it the same night?
I hope no, it was not the same night.
Well, if it was the same night,
I think he won it like a year or two before.
He was good in that movie too.
Yeah,
Jared Leto. Like people shit on Jared Leto, like dude's still a good actor.
That Everybody Has AIDS movie. AIDS. Everybody has AIDS. AIDS. Here's your Academy Award.
Here's your Academy Award, Jared.
Is the DCEU in some kind of Brewster's Millions situation where they have to lose $50 million to get $300 million? Because that is what it feels like at this point. It doesn't. It's
bonkers.
mind-blowing.
It's bonkers. And also,
It's truly Teddy bonkers.
and this isn't even the craziest thing we're going to talk about today.
Do you want to just move into it?
I mean, we can if you'd like to.
I've said all I need to on DiCaprio.
There's something. I wasn't even talking about this next thing. I was talking about the thing after it, which sounds even more Mad Libs. Jiminy Christmas.
We live in a mad libs world.
Yeah.
No, the next two things are utterly ridiculous. All three of these things are utterly stupid.
Yeah. No.
Not stupid. No.
This next thing.
No.
Rocks.
That's true. These next two things are kind of great.
Well, the one. Let's just get into it. Shazam. This story came out yesterday and it made my day. I was having a bad day before it happened. Then I had a good day. So, this show called That Hashtag Show, I'd literally never heard of it until yesterday.
One of two times we'll be discussing it today.
Yeah, these fuckers are trying to break stories all over the place. They are reporting that Shazam is moving forward, we know that, and that there are two actors that Warner Brothers is circling. Remember, this Shazam movie, because now we have to say whether or not it's in the extended universe, this is in the extended universe.
And it's in pre-production.
David Sandberg is directing, this is happening. So we've said they're going to have to get an actor out here. The first actor is a man named Joshua Sassy, who I had never heard of.
I go Sass.
Sass?
Like
sure.
the senator.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He was in the ABC show Gallivant.
Okay. Gallivant's a fine show.
He's a good-looking fella. He
Sure.
looks like he could do it. He's strapping. Probably needs to put on a little bit of muscle.
Some mass. Needs more sweet mass.
He's pretty muscular, but for Shazam, you'd think like maybe a little bit more. And so,
Shazam is peak mass.
he really is. So he would be fine, I'm sure. It doesn't really get the butts in seats. You know, it's like, oh, Joshua Sass. But this next name, Joseph, is one who we've talked about on this podcast before, and it's the one who I said I wanted. John Cena.
Motherfucker, we fucking nailed it.
We did it. They
One
got
more
the letters.
time. One more time. They're listening to the show. John Cena, WWE superstar who has been
16-time world champ.
breaking into the world of acting, the world's most charismatic man, John Cena.
He's also just a great man.
Yeah, he holds the Make-A-Wish record by such an unbelievable margin at this point.
Yeah.
It's like one of those NBA records or something. They'll just never be topped.
Yeah, like no one's going to score 100 points in a game again.
Yeah. And no one's just going to be able to do as many Make-A-Wishes as John Cena does.
No.
It's literally on pace of like 7 a day.
Right.
For a while.
It's nuts.
It was unbelievable.
And so Cena, who he was just attached to that Bumblebee movie, which is Warner Brothers.
Yes.
So he clearly has
the Transformers movie. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a Bumblebee spin-off standalone, which sounds like shit. So, John, drop out of that shit and do this. Because he was also in, I think, Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer movie. I think that was.
Yes, he was.
That was in
and
Warner
he
Brothers
was,
as well.
Liked quite a bit in that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie, but when I walked in on someone who was watching it, it was actually his scene, and he was very funny in it.
Yeah, he's super funny.
And
he's done more for professional wrestling in terms of making it seem not weird than anyone else.
mainstreaming it.
He's mainstreamed it so hard. So there's a lot of wrestling fans that don't like John Cena, actually. But
y'all are dumb.
Y'all are just dumb nerds. He's the best. And we've said it. We want him for this. He seems like what a little kid thinks a big, strong adult looks like.
Yeah, he's got ridiculous muscles. Go Google John Cena shirtless, and it looks like he's got bowling balls under his skin.
But he doesn't look uncomfortable.
Right. Well, sometimes when he moves around in the ring a little bit, it looks like there's like that.
He waddles a little
There's
bit.
that Tumblr meme where it was like John Cena left his muffins in the oven because he's just kind of lumbering around. And but he's a funny guy, and I think Shazam needs to have that thing where Billy Batson's still in there. Yes. He's just a little kid in a giant person's body, so he's like snickering when people are saying like penis or something.
He needs that gee-whiz innocence,
exactly,
which John Cena has made a career of embodying.
Yeah.
So I think this is a perfect
This
fit.
is a perfect fit. Joshua Sass, if you get it, fine.
I'm sure you'll do a wonderful job.
I'm sorry, I want Cena. A lot of people I saw online were pissed, but it's perfect. It really is. So I hope it happens. I really do. My second choice was Channing Tatum.
Big match, John.
Big
match,
John.
In another dispatch from the Mad Libs.
Yes to that rumor.
Yes to that rumor. Another dispatch from the Mad Libs world that we now live in. An addition possibly to the Sony MCU.
Ooh, the Sony CU.
So the Venom universe.
Yeah, I have no idea what to fucking call this one.
Meet the Movie Press is reporting that a Nightwatch movie...
which is already like, oh, weird.
Yeah, Nightwatch is
it's already
like
choice.
Way out there. He's 3 standard deviations away from Spider-Man. It's to be written by Edward Rycourt, set in the Spider-Man universe. The character is Dr. Kevin Trench, who is super confusing. Matt, have you been familiar with Nightwatch?
I've read stuff, and
he was born kind of on the day that he discovers his own future dead body, who came back to the past with this super futuristic costume. He takes the costume, so he's just in this unending loop of constantly, becoming himself kind of thing. And this movie would be directed by, clearly, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
If you're going to get anybody for a comic book movie, you would go get Spike fucking Lee. Who,
what the hell's going on?
Noted Knicks fan. Look,
I like Spike Lee. Don't get me wrong.
Auteur director who has made unbelievably good films, wonderful films.
DC's probably like,
he's had some ones that are not as hot.
DC's probably like, no, we want to be weird.
Yeah.
Stop it, Sony. Amy Pascal.
They really are getting fucking weird with it. This is supposed to be their answer to like a Black Panther or Cyborg movie, because Nightwatch is a black superhero.
Right.
But he's not like Black Panther, where he is defined by that.
Yeah.
Necessarily. I'm not saying they should cast a white guy by any means.
Don't do that.
Clearly, they're not going to. Spike Lee, I feel very comfortable, is not going to whitewash this movie.
He's going to cast.
I feel pretty sure in saying that Spike Lee is not going to pull a Ed Skrein kind of thing here.
Yeah.
For them to pull this on the character of Nightwatch is very confusing.
Is this
when somebody, I think, like the Prowler might be able to do a better... Like, Hobie Brown makes more sense for Spike Lee, but I think that he'll do a great job in this. The only reason I say that is because they have, they've been pretty clear that we want this to be kind of according to this report, we want this to be our quote-unquote black movie. There's just no other way to put it.
He's probably going to cast John Turturro.
Yeah.
He's in every Spike Lee movie.
So, Nightwatch, if you are not familiar with Nightwatch, living suit kind of deal, futuristic tech suit.
Spawnish.
Very Spawnish. Cape moves around a ton. Very fun to look at. Very fun to draw. It should be a lot of fun, but this is really out there.
Is this the kind of thing with Scorsese and the Joker? Like, whose idea was this? Was this Spike Lee being like, Nightwatch, I'ma make it? And then just
Maybe
being
it
like,
was.
And then just being like, okay. And now they're like, fuck, we gotta make this movie.
Maybe it was. I fucks with it. I think it's gonna be able to do some really cool stuff.
I hope they just double down with the weirdness and the blackness and just fuck it. Let's do it. Make that shit
go all
happen. So yeah, why not? Yeah, why not is the other title of this podcast.
Sure, fuck it.
Sure, why the fuck not? Going back to that DC streaming service, Joe. Talking about Titans some more. Some rumors that came out. Again from that hashtag show. Who are you guys?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why should I trust you?
How do you know this? Maybe they're going to be the next Hollywood Reporter. Who knows?
Maybe.
Let's see how right they are.
Or maybe they're the next Humberto Gonzalez.
Right, there's the spectrum. So let's see who you
next
are.
Maybe Gonzalez.
Yeah, Maybe. So that dude
Michael.
Michael. That dude hasn't... I want to see who picks up on that reference. Yeah, the streaming service. So apparently, Hawk and Dove could be coming to Titans, Joe. We got
DC. They have been Titans in the past. They've been part of the Justice League in the past. They have been very important.
2 characters I love.
I believe they both died. I know at least the one of them has.
Right. They've also... You've seen them in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, I think it was.
They were definitely in Justice League Unlimited. I don't know if they were in Justice League.
I don't think they were in the first one. They were definitely in Unlimited. We also have a possible character breakdown for Dove.
Give me the highlights.
Her name will be Molly, according to this thing. That could just be a name, though.
Sure. No, those are usually bullshit.
Yeah. Open ethnicity. Sure.
Dope.
Graceful master fighting machine. This is also just my Tinder bio. She straddles the world of being a thrill-seeking and do-gooding vigilante, along with being her crime-fighting partner's emotional anchor and caregiver. She loves him, but fears what he's become. Recurring guest star with series regular option.
I'm into that. I think that's a really interesting story you could tell.
I agree.
Where she is afraid of Hawk's power and Hawk's, for lack of a better term, hawkishness.
Hawkishness, his aggressiveness. And we may the Dove they are looking at. There's a name.
She's just constantly as uncomfortable as like when you get into an Uber pool with somebody else who's like not really being like classy.
Yeah.
Somebody's like talking loud on the phone.
We have a possible actress linked. We do have an actress linked to this role. Rebecca Rittenhouse. She's not confirmed. This is all rumors. She hasn't done much. She was a regular on the Mindy Project, which I did not watch. But good for her. She gets this role. And the Hawk that is rumored is actually kind of notable in the comic community. Alan Ritchson, who he was in the Hunger Games a little bit. He played Gloss, who's one of like the District 1, like I want to fucking kill you.
Dope.
People. Big dude. Big dude. And also, he played Aquaman on Smallville.
Hawk is another one that's on the... oh, shit, that guy.
Yeah.
He was also in Blue Mountain State.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that guy is good.
Alan Richardson.
I didn't see Blue Mountain State. I don't want people out there to think I watched a lot of Blue Mountain State.
He was in the sequel, too.
I know that guy loves comic book shit, so I'm not surprised that he's a great pickup for Hawk.
Yeah, so...
What's his name?
Alan Richardson.
Alan Richardson. Okay, yeah, he's a great pickup for Hawk.
So, they both look the part, especially him. And she's very beautiful. She looks like she can also handle herself. So this would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
I
into
like
both
Hawk
of
and
this.
Dove. Joe is all in on Alan Richardson.
I think he's great.
So that's cool. Thumbs up to that rumor.
Thumbs up to that rumor.
Also sticking with Titans, we may also be getting Detective Amy Rohrback, which is very interesting, especially with the character Nightwing, because she was in that 1990s series called Nightwing, in which she was a member of the corrupt Bloodhaven Police Department. She was one of the clean cops, who Dick Grayson was a cop as well in Bloodhaven, and so they like worked together. And then he finally became Nightwing and was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna be like Batman was and clean this shit up." She's his Gordon.
Yes.
Essentially.
For anyone that saw the TV show Angel, it's the same dynamic that the blonde cop lady had on there.
Sure, I didn't see that, but I think
I'm correct.
I think Gordon to his Batman also works. So that
No, I don't think anyone listening to the show would get that reference.
that doesn't make any sense.
They're a lot more likely to get an Angel reference from 2002.
I will say David Boreanaz should be in something.
He's really good.
He
People
should be.
underrate him as an actor. He's a really good actor.
Maybe in like 15, 20 years he can be Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond.
Don't let him do an accent, I'll say. I've seen him do accents, not well. He had to do like a Welsh accent.
Oh,
he was
yeah?
like the opposite of Ewan Rayon. Like he,
That's funny.
But he did some real good stuff in Angel.
We also have a
Buffy.
mini character synopses. She is the detective alongside Dick Grayson, who knows more than she lets on. Pretty, has tattoos. Don't know if you need that last part in there.
That's also a great Tinder bio. Detective alongside Dick Grayson, know more than I let on. Pretty, tattoos. Swipe right.
Ooh,
Yeah, hell yeah.
ooh.
Swipe up for the Super Tinder.
Are you Amy Rohrback? So,
Do you
sure.
think that could be like a casting thing of like a Tinder thing? Like, no, yes. That's a good idea,
That's not
right?
a bad idea. Casting Tinder. That's actually a good idea, Joe.
Yeah.
We just revolutionized the game.
Just changed the way the game is done on judging actresses and actors.
Yeah.
Thank God we are here solving problems.
You can be dicks in secret.
So, they're I think a lot happier to be dicks in public. Last rumor.
Yes to that rumor, by the way.
Yes to that rumor.
A lot of yes to these rumors. They're just bonkers.
I'm not into the DiCaprio
No, fuck
one.
that one, but-
Yeah, the rest I'm into.
Yeah. And
So-
this one, too.
The Secret Wars, we may be getting a Secret Wars video game, is what I'm trying to say. Because Marvel went out and trademarked a bunch of stuff surrounding Secret Wars in the video game space. You can't just, and this is going to come up in the next thing we talk about,
I was about to say the same thing.
you can't just trademark like all Secret Wars stuff, right? You have to be like, okay, we trademark Secret Wars for books, movies, TV, video. You have to go piece by piece, and you have to do
Right.
it in different countries. It's a huge, pain in the
It's
ass.
a huge legal issue.
That's why trademark lawyers make a lot of fucking money. It could just be some bullshit mobile game
Oh, better
where
not.
it's like not, it's like some
Tap.
Marvel versus Cap, Tap Fantastic kind of game. But it could fit into the wider MCU that they're trying to build in video games that they've talked about before.
Yeah,
I call it the PCU.
Oh, we're getting that Marvel Spider-Man game.
Yes, this is according to the Bleeding Cool
is that
people of
coming
Bleeding
out?
Cool. We still got a while.
Like November.
They're working
I
on
think
it.
it's November.
Christmas. I think that a Secret Wars video game would play really, really well as a wider thing.
Yeah.
Secret Wars, for people who don't know, it was a comic in the 1980s that brought all of the characters together for a year. It basically paused all of their stories for a year.
Just dope.
No, it really did.
No, I know. I'm saying it's awesome.
And then they were brought together to randomly fight each other and sell toys. No, really, it started as a focus group to sell toys, and they found out kids like the word secret and war.
Yeah.
And so they just made Secret Wars and just randomly put a bunch of characters together and had them beat the shit out of each other, and they sold a lot of toys from it. It was also a 2015 run where the world was run by Doctor Doom as Battle World with a lot of like niche pocket dimensions and territories. So you would read up on what was happening in each of these territories and dimensions, and it would feed back to the larger storyline. It was really cool, I thought. I liked the new Secret Wars. And I think that doing a video game around that would be really interesting.
I agree. I want that very much.
So I'm soups into that.
I've always thought that I want more video games like the Arkham games that we got, where it's like you get to run around and it's not like the Telltale games are fine, but they're very niche for what they are. You know what you're getting. With these Arkham games, man, they were bonkers.
They're really bonkers.
And I want them with different heroes. Give me an Iron Man one. Give me a Flash one. Superman. There's so many characters. And then build a little universe. Nobody's done that yet. Do it.
Just do it!
Just do it. Just do that shit, man. Come on. I'll buy it. I promise.
Just give us the things that we want. Thumbs up!
Give him the bear, Homer.
Quick hits.
Quick hits.
There is a lawsuit
Speaking of trademarks.
under the name of Bumblebee. So there is a DC Comics character called Bumblebee.
She's great.
She's great. She's dope. She should be on something. Let's give Bumblebee on Legends of Tomorrow or something, right?
Why
Well,
not? She's a Ray Palmer.
She's a Ray Palmer type.
Yeah, disciple.
Yeah.
She's a student. So come on.
Let's get on that. But Transformers also has their character Bumblebee, and they want some of that money.
Well,
but-
your Bumblebee sucks eggs. So, no. That's literally what I would say if I was the judge.
Matthew. Legal arguments have no place to use the word eggs.
Legal arguments have no place in my courtroom, Your Honor. I'm the judge. I don't know why I called you Your Honor.
I am the honor now.
No.
This lawsuit is around toys. Basically, they're saying now DC is trying to put out a line of like...
They have them out.
They have them out. A line of like toys
Barbies.
for girls, basically.
They're
Yeah,
Barbies.
like Barbie, DC kind of things.
Yeah.
They have ones for like Wonder Woman.
Dude,
and-
I almost bought one. And I'm a 23-year-old man, and I almost bought like a Wonder Woman Barbie.
You don't always make the best purchasing decisions, though.
They're like $14, and they're really nice.
I was going to point out, and I actually defend you on this.
Then why are you calling me out? I don't even know
I'm
what
not
you're
calling you
gonna
out, but
say.
I just think it's a funny story. They need to make dog ice cream more obvious that it's for dogs and does not have a cartoon dog on the box.
That wasn't my fault. That was years ago. That wasn't like
you were
6 months
you were
ago.
much younger,
I was like 13.
and you were told you were allowed to get some an ice cream treat of some kind.
It looked good.
It did look good. You walked back.
It had a dog. It was called Frosty Paws.
Yeah, that sounds like it had all the trappings of.
It looked like Italian ice.
Listen, it's not like Frosted Flakes are just for tigers.
Yeah, right?
There's no way for me to tell.
So that's all. I was all on them, and I had to very,
Sheepishly.
yeah, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know.
What dogs eat ice cream?
I was making a spoiled ones. I was making a joke. Yeah.
Fuck. Like, it still makes me mad.
So Transformers has the claims to have the trademark on the Bumblebee toy name, so they can't roll out that name. We kind of saw this with the Captain Marvel stuff decades back, so it'll be interesting to see where this lands. Because the Bumblebee character has been around so long, longer than the Bumblebee car. I feel fucking stupid.
Also, isn't this both Warner Brothers?
It might be.
Transformers is Warner
Well,
Brothers.
that's for the movie rights.
right.
though.
I'm saying
Toys
is probably
different.
Hasbro or something.
I think it is Hasbro versus DC in this.
Nah, you fucking dicks.
So we'll see where that lands.
But aren't you making Bumblebee toys with like the movie thing on the box? Like, why else are people buying a Bumblebee toy?
I couldn't tell you.
And also, if I was DC,
It's heading to court.
this would literally be my argument if I'm DC. It wouldn't literally be my argument. I'm joking. I'd be like, y'all just racist as fuck.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't
wanna
like
see
black
a
Barbies?
young black girl as a Barbie? Y'all racist. Fucking cars. Get that shit out of here. Fuck you.
No. That's not it.
DC, hire me. I will fix everything.
Okay.
I will be your Kevin Feige, and I will tell people to, yeah, shove it. Moving on.
Your business strategy can't just be to call everyone racists.
I can be if they are being. You Nazi.
That might be a shirt. I can be if they are being.
So, Michael Cerveris. We just have our shirts. Michael Cerveris, who was in The Tick.
Yes.
Very cool. He is going to be Laszlo Valentine, a.k.a. Professor Pig, in Gotham. So, Professor Pig is a very fucked up man.
He's crazy.
He's a crazy person. You saw him in the Arkham Knight game. He
Yes.
was skinning people. That's basically what he does.
Yeah, he creates these, like, Dollatron zombies.
Yeah, that's what he does. He is a fucked up person. A+ villain for Gotham.
He was really good in Beware the Batman when he
Yeah.
was paired with Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
Highly recommend Beware the Batman. It's a little rough to watch at first, but once you get used to the CG animation style, I enjoyed it. And it produces a lot of villains that you're not used to seeing, which I always appreciate.
I agree. I think they had Killer Moth
Yes.
on there, who I like. I am going to be the one who turns Killer Moth into hot fire. So,
Penelope Mitchell is joining Hellboy as Ganeda the Witch. She was
Nice.
in Hemlock Grove, and she will be working against the Blood Witch.
so she's like a good witch.
Yes.
Ganeda.
Much like Glinda.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Yes.
Courtney Ford has joined the Legends of Tomorrow cast, and she's going to be playing Damien Dark's daughter.
I hope she's not in it long. I am over the Damien Dark stuff. I don't think
need
it was
it
even
anymore.
that good when Damien Dark was around.
Yeah, Neil McDonough I thought did fine, but the whole story was kind of wonky. And I'm talking about Arrow. I didn't watch that season of Legends. I thought it was stupid that they brought him back. This is very CW. That he's got a daughter. He had a son. This is weird.
It's a little weird.
He had like a 5-year-old son. How old is she? She's like an actress. She's
I can't explain it, but Damien Dark's going to have a daughter in the next season, so look forward to that. Tessa Thompson. This is a slightly bigger story. This was almost not a quick hit.
This was almost a headline.
Yes.
probably
Tessa
deserved
Thompson
it.
came out, and we can spend as much time on it as it
Yeah.
deserves. She spoke to the LA Times, and she maligned how female characters are always written in comic book heroes where they have to be strong and fierce, but also sexy. And she felt that that was an unfair standard.
Almost like a shot at James Cameron, too.
It almost seems like a shot at James Cameron a little bit, but it also seemed like a little bit of a shot at somebody like Gal Gadot, I thought, who was very sexy as Wonder Woman, right? I mean,
I'm sorry, Gal Gadot's just really pretty.
she said that a lot of times these male writers are putting in this thing like, oh yeah, she's super tough, she's badass, but she's got an unconscious sexy about her.
Right.
So she was really maligning that. I agree. I hope there's more places to
she's
go
right.
with
No.
these kind of characters. But all of these movies are held to a very high standard of beauty.
Yeah.
The men and the women. The
even
women
men,
way more
yeah.
than men.
True.
But
A lot more ugly dudes get cast than ugly women, let's put it that way. Also, sexiness is very subjective. So, like, it's a whole bag of cats.
in Thor Ragnarok, who is I can't think of who's playing the
Cate
female.
Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett. I think she's playing somebody who I wouldn't characterize as sexy, and she's the lead villain in the movie.
Yeah.
There's something to be
But
said
she
for
is
that.
also Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
So
She is certainly on that.
you can only wipe away so much before it's still Cate Blanchett.
Well, I think that also might speak to the Taika Waititi directed film and what he was able to put out in the script they were able to put
yeah,
together.
Tessa was very clearly on board with Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
And so maybe this movie is going to do a lot to break that,
Yeah,
because I
true.
don't think this is a movie that is obsessed with sexy female characters in the same way.
Yeah. Sexy action news.
Dope.
So that's cool. It also kind of reminded me of what Chloe Bennett said.
Yeah, she went out and she was like, Hollywood is racist.
Yeah, she
My
flat
real
out
name
said-
is Chloe Wang, and
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to go by Chloe Wang because then I won't get cast in stuff.
I didn't know that.
I knew that.
I didn't. I was like, whoa, shit. Now I feel bad. So we got your back, Chloe. We got your back.
Good for Chloe Wang.
Yeah. We should start calling her Chloe Wang. Justice League
Just to be
Mortal-
confusing.
Yeah, just to confuse the fuck out of people. I don't care. Y'all racist. If they, what is the thing? If they are, they be. Something like that.
If they are, then they do be. Something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. We're stupid. Justice League Mortal, the George Miller.
That's why we need it on a shirt to remember it.
Yeah, to remember
They
it.
are if they do be, I think was it.
Justice League Mortal. The movie, George Miller would have directed it.
Yes, it was supposed to come out in the late 2000s.
It would have been fucking crazy.
Basically, he had that or
Hammer.
Mad Max. He had to pick one or the other, and he ended up going with
Making
Mad
the right
Max
choice.
Fury Road, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. I Will Fight You in the Street.
Especially the black and white version.
Oh my god, it's all so good.
Go see that shit in IMAX. Don't see Inhumans. So, Jay Baruchel, who I did not know was attached to that movie, was supposed to play Maxwell Lord.
No shit.
Yeah, okay, that's weird. If you don't know Jay Baruchel, he's one of Seth Rogen's stoner buddies.
He was in the movie Tropic Thunder as the up-and-coming actor who had his shit together. That's
Yeah.
probably his biggest role.
Well, he was also in This Is the End.
He was in This Is the
Where he
End.
played
He's
himself.
also in that show Man Seeking Woman on
I think
FX.
he was in Knocked Up.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
So, like, he's one of Seth Rogen's boys. You know,
Yeah.
he's one of those guys, Canadian stoner guy. Great, funny guy. Yeah, he was going to play Maxwell Lord. Did not know that. That was bonkers. And he revealed a bunch of shit about the movie. Said Max Lord was going to be taking over people's minds, and when he took over Superman's mind, Superman would have had a colossal bout with Wonder Woman, and he said it would have brought the house down.
It kind of sounds like the Iron Man, Underwear Man, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America fight from Avengers 1.
Yeah. Oh,
Dope.
that fight. Still one of the best fights in comic movie history.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, she is entering the movie is entering the top 20 grossing movies of all time. It's going to surpass Iron Man 3.
Wow. That's
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, because they opened up big overseas, too.
Is far and away the highest grossing female directed film of all time.
You go, Patty J.
Hell yeah.
You go. You back up the fucking Brinks truck for the sequel.
She's like the Conor McGregor of female directors.
Yeah, for her and Gal. Gal needs to be paid, honestly, more than Ben.
Yeah, I agree.
Pay her
She's gonna bring more eyes to it.
Pay her more than Ben Affleck.
Agreed.
So Joss Whedon, speaking of Justice League, he's gonna get a writing credit.
Yes, it will
Which
be.
means he wrote a fuckload of the movie.
It will be story by
Zack
Snyder and somebody else, Chris Terrio, I think, and then screenplay by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
So that means he had to have written at least a third of the movie.
That's crazy. So
he's done a lot.
So maybe lending credence to the rumors that a shit ton of it was reshot.
Very possible.
We don't know.
Gerard Johnstone,
Also almost a headline.
yes, is working on a Justice League Dark script.
He was one of the rumored directors.
Yes, so that means they're still looking to get it made. They're not backbenching this yet. It's not being forgotten. Johnstone is going to be the deep frontrunner to take the helm on this. If he's working on the script, he's going to probably direct it.
Yeah, so I think we got our jail Dark director. But we'll wait till Warner Brothers makes that announcement. Misty Knight, if you haven't seen...
This was almost a headline.
If you haven't
We
seen...
have had a thick week.
Yeah, with 2 C's. It's as thick as Dick Grayson's butt. If you have not seen Defenders, go do so. This is not a major spoiler, but it is a spoiler. Misty Knight got her arm cut off.
She's been, teasing it for a little bit. There's a couple of times in Luke Cage, and there's a couple of times, she would be like, oh, I wonder what's in this hole, and, reach her arm in.
So, her arm is gone. And a photo came out for Luke Cage Season 2 where she has her new bionic arm and she looks badass.
It looks great. I'm happy Misty Knight is taking...
Who's going to make that arm?
I'm going to assume... Yeah, that's a good question. Who is going to make that?
It's not like Iron Man.
It's not like the NYPD is going to pay for it. I was going to say maybe Iron Man.
You think Tony doesn't know who she is?
It's possible. I don't know.
Riri Williams?
Hey, there's a fucking idea. Put Riri Williams in
Why
here.
not?
That's a great idea. That would be a fantastic way to get Riri Williams in
Yeah.
here. Or even just allude to Riri Williams.
Something.
You know?
It'd be weird for a 15-year-old to make the arm, but hey.
So go find a look at that arm. I'm still looking for a Misty Knight or maybe even a Daughters of the Dragon kind of
It's on our
series.
Facebook page. Go check it out.
Yep. We have, speaking of Daredevil, one last quick hit. Looks like the character of Sin Eater might be coming to Daredevil season 3. It's not the best name. It was from a different time.
I know, but still.
So Sin Eater is the character Stanley Carter. He started out as a cop who became a SHIELD agent and became super powered because of it. He had strength, stamina, just the most basic.
The works.
Yeah. He then became a cop again, which I'm not sure how that works. Once you get super strength, you're not allowed to be a cop anymore. We've seen too much. When his partner ends up getting killed, so he becomes the superhero Sin Justice Sin Eater to exact.
Sin Justice is way better.
That's a way better name. That's my rap name. And he's gonna exact justice on those who he feels deserve it. He is okay with killing people, so he's a little bit Punisher-like. So I'm almost not into this if we're gonna do it. But here's what the character breakdown said: they're looking for Steve, bullshit name. Age 28 to 35.
Steve is Sin Eater.
5'9" to 6'1", open ethnicity.
Ooh, I can do it.
Athletic but socially awkward. Needs structure and rules to suppress the darkness inside of him.
I'm not socially awkward, so I can't do it. I'm a cool guy.
They want athletic with a medium build.
That's me.
Responsible and resourceful. Hair trigger temper. There you go. Yeah.
Hey, maybe you're looking at Sin Eater over here.
Series regular.
Ooh.
Which
That means I'll
is
get some
very
money.
big.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them expanding S.H.I.E.L.D. I like when S.H.I.E.L.D. agents show up in different comics to just be like, hey, I'm supposed to look out for you for a little while. I'm supposed to make sure you don't do anything that's super illegal for a while.
It's like when the Dallas Cowboys had to give Des Bryant a babysitter.
Exactly. They do that a lot with Deadpool, where it's like, hey, man, we're going to give you, here's Scott Adson. He's going to hang around with you for a little while.
To make sure you don't beat up your mother or something.
Deadpool, not you.
No, Des Bryant.
No,
did
I
that.
know. So I guess if we're going to do Sin Eater, that could be cool, but it kind of feels like this is just a combination of the Punisher and Nuke, which we did in Jessica Jones and last season of Daredevil.
Right.
So I'm not really... hopefully they find a fresh take on this.
I trust him.
So, we don't have any hot takes for this week, but we do have some stuff that we think you guys should check out. So our section, hey, you should check out. This week, you guys should check out Constantine. We did the movie last time.
Not the movie.
Not the movie, which you don't really need to check out. It's got some okay stuff.
It's fine. If
you want to.
Yeah, you won't hate yourself after you watch it like you will with Barbed Wire.
Damn, you hated Barbed Wire.
It was really bad. It made me ill.
Isn't that top? It's bottom 5 on our list.
It is
right?
bottom 5. It's like number 3 or 4.
So it is only 12, 13 episodes on CW Seed. Very easy to check out. Matt Ryan does a great job playing Constantine. They do, after the pilot, end up reshuffling a lot.
Yeah.
So there is like a adjustment period to start the second episode where like, oh wait, the girl who they set the entire series around in the first episode, like she couldn't come back. So they just like move on without her.
Right.
But that's fine.
There's also an animated show now.
Yes.
Featuring him. So
that is going to be, I believe, canonical with the one they have now.
Yeah.
So really look forward to that. Also, you should check out The Tick on Amazon Prime.
Great reviews.
It's fucking great.
Yeah,
it's
Peter
real fun.
Serafinowicz, he's the best.
It's real fun. It's real funny. It is exactly what you want it to be. Check out The Tick.
The Tick.
Do you have anything else for the week, Matt?
I don't.
Let the people know how to get a hold of the show.
You can find us on Twitter at Up and Away Show. On Facebook, check out that Misty Night Arm at Facebook or at Up and Away Show. Instagram, Up and Away Podcast. Or if you want to email the show, say like, hey, I think you guys should watch this movie, and we'll get back to you. It is Up and Away Podcast at gmail.com.
For all you out there, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We appreciate it. Ratings and reviews always help us. We'll see you guys here on Friday, here on the show.